So recently I was listening to this podcast and I had just discovered it and it was actually fairly good. These people seem pretty bright and they were really into, entrepreneurship and creating a business, and they actually read books too. Now, they read more so the mainstream books that are highly marketed, 4 Hour Work Week, Darren Hardy, T. Harv Eker, like the basically the wealth creation expert type books that are like most widely known. And I still felt that they were pretty good. Honestly, they didn't even finish a lot of the books. They said they skimmed a lot of them, which I didn't like. But honestly, like I liked their message because they had a mindset where they were into this. So I talked to them briefly online and they were nice enough to respond to their listeners. And all of a sudden, they said that their goal was $10 million a year. And they said this in a way that was almost so casual, like, oh, yes, our goal is $10 million a year. Not like our goal is $10 million a year. They said it casually, but also with a tone of just like, oh, yeah, we'll easily accomplish this. And the way they said it really just like, I didn't really like it because they made it seem like it was so easily accomplishable. So I was kind of confused about this. And I asked them, well, wait a minute. Why is this exactly your goal? Because a lot of alarms were, whirring in my head. A lot of red alarms going off. And basically they said, oh, we chose this as a goal because it's easily attainable, it's measurable, it's exact, and we can measure our progress to it. And this is something we envision. And so many red alarm bells just went off in my head. And for the average person, like the biggest one is just like, oh, you think it's so easy to get $10 million a year. And these people seem to be making a decent living and doing well and had just started a business and were generating decent income off of it. And it seemed like they were very, they were starting to prosper and grow fairly well. And this thing hit, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. Because these people are much older than me, and you would think that they know what they're doing. And it seems like, you can get so brainwashed in a certain way with a certain type of wealth creation uh, type book that's it can really just screw you over in a way. And basically, the biggest thing I had a problem with was the fact that they seem to be moving towards this goal simply for the fact of moving towards that goal. And perhaps if you're bored and you have nothing better to do and you have no other life goals, go for it. Like, if that's what you're interested in, go ahead. But I have found more often than not, most of the time, the case with these types of people, and oftentimes, no one is exempt from this. I've seen people who have made millions of dollars, and then, for the next 10 years, they wasted 10 years figuring this out. And I've seen this time and time again. But basically, what it is they basically move towards making more and more money rather than, going straight towards their true end goal. And oftentimes, maybe this is just, oh, I really want to go on vacation and I really want to, explore the world, or I really want to visit California once in my lifetime, or it would be great if I could go to the Caribbeans, or it'd be great if I could buy a sports car, or whatever it is. It'd be great if I could be happy. And they chase these long winded things and go the long route in an attempt to get to that goal. And this is why I recommend books like The How of Happiness. And the reason is because it really just exposes what will truly make you happy. And rather than going along this long-winded road to get there, which so many people, they've deluded themselves to chase, you can get there much faster. And oftentimes you will realize that, you know, maybe traveling or going on vacation or doing whatever else, you can get there on a fraction of that, not $10 million a year. You can get there maybe on less than $30,000 a year, depending on, you know, where you want to travel to. I know people who have traveled to over 100 countries and had the time of their life over the course of 3 years on less than $20,000 a year. And they've visited the most amazing places, the most amazing beaches, and so forth, because they knew how to spend their money and they understood that the cost of living is a lot lower. And unfortunately, you know, I feel like a lot of people go through life and they do stuff like this because they don't know any better. And they're just chasing this stuff. And, you know, I've been fortunate enough to learn all this and hear all this advice and hear all these experiences from people who have, you know, been there and warned against wasting decades of your life doing this. And so that's why it really heats me up when I hear this. And honestly, you know, just the way that they said it in their podcast, um, you know, it just felt like, on top of the fact that they were just chasing the money for the fact of chasing it, they also didn't seem to understand how tough it will be. Like, honestly, you know, it's great that they have the mindset that it is achievable, because some people don't even believe it. And belief is important just to get started. But I think that they have just gone too far, and they pretty much have, you know, convinced themselves that it's going to be easy getting there, and they're completely underestimating how hard it is. I mean, 10 million a year. So, you know, I think that's just very important. And just like the way that they said it to me, they said stuff like, "Oh yeah, it's attainable." And I mean, for the people I know who have achieved that, they have put in like their lives for it. Like, they did not have anything else. Many of them didn't have social lives. They put their life into their business because they loved it to achieve this. And, you know, these people, they feel, and I'm not going to tell you who they are, but they felt like they could achieve it very easily, or it was, you know, like in their grasp. And, you know, that's not going to be the case. You know, I don't think that they will achieve it. I really don't. And they're completely underestimating how much it takes to get there. I'm not saying that they can't, but not with that attitude. And so, you know, that's what I want to say. Again, I don't want to call them out, and I don't want to be negative towards them. Honestly, you know, I still wish them the best, and I try to give the best advice I could to them. I don't know if they listened, but I also made this video not to spread negativity, but to inspire other people, because it reminds me that this is not educated enough,